day one of spookathon. It's actually the afternoon, but I thought it would be the perfect time to tell you about my TBR for the week. As you all know, I'm not very good with TBRs. I change my mind a lot, so I have a lot of options for a lot of these challenges. So the first challenge is to read a thriller, which I'm actually a little bit annoyed with. Ooh, someone is calling me. Who are you? Anyway, what was I saying? The first challenge is to read a thriller. Now, I'm in the middle of a book at the moment that I'm hoping to use for this challenge because technically it doesn't really fit any of the challenges for the week, but it's The Graces by Laura Eve. This is technically a contemporary, but it does have witchy vibes to it, but it's one of those witchy type books that's very much rooted in real life, so you don't know if these are actual witches that we're talking about or if they're just rumors, which I love those kind of like vague books that's like not really magic realism but is also kind of maybe considered magic realism. It's very much rooted in contemporary, but it's basically about this girl who moves into this town. She's only been there for a year, and this town has a rumor surrounding this one family called the Graces. And a lot of people say that they're witches, and she becomes super obsessed with wanting to be their friend and wanting to be in their circle of like vicinity, I guess, and like wanting to be a witch as well. And the idea of obsession itself, although it's not technically a thriller, has some thriller vibes to it, so I'm hoping to use this. But if I were to go with actual thrillers, I have three options that I could use. I could read Little Monsters. I could also listen to the audiobook of Pet Sematary by Stephen King. And the fourth option I could use is one of the Courtney Summers books that I haven't read, which is Sadie and All the Rage. I found both of those audiobooks on Scribd, so I'm gonna like pick one of those up sometime during the week when I'm in the mood. The second challenge is to read a book with purple on the cover. Now, the group book Toil and Trouble is all purple, so I could definitely pick that up, and it's also only $9 on ebook, so I'm hoping to get that on ebook because I tried looking for it at my local bookstores and stuff and I couldn't find it. So I could read that, but my other options were to read Night of the Living Dummy 2, one of these Goosebumps books. Now, I know that you can't really see any purple on these covers, but if you look very closely, that heart is a purple. So I could definitely get through this in like 2 hours today, which I'm hoping to do. Or I could pick up another Goosebumps book. This is purple, right? Yeah, it's purple. And this is also another purple one. And this one is all about jelly, so it's purple. Yeah. Challenge number 3 is to read a book not set in the current time period. I could go with Toil and Trouble again because apparently there are some short stories in there that's set in the past. I could also use The October Country by Ray Bradbury because there are a lot of short stories in this that's not set in this time period. The fourth challenge is to read a book with a spooky word in the title. Now, I have a couple of options for this. Haunted by R.L. Stine. I could also go with the book that I'm currently reading on ebook, which is Scream All Night by Derek Millman. It's not technically a horror book, but it is a book for horror lovers. And the last challenge is to read a book with pictures. Now, I have two options for this. I could definitely use Toil and Trouble, which is the group book, and also has purple on the cover and apparently has pictures inside it, so I could use that. But the second option that I kind of want to get to, because I tried getting to it last year and I didn't end up enjoying it, is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. And I think the only reason why I didn't enjoy it last year is because I was still hung up on the previous book that I read, and so I didn't give it the time that it needed. So I'm hoping to reread it and love it. And apparently it has pictures, and I think my sister has a physical copy, the one with the pictures in it. So yeah, I'm hoping to get through that one. Anyway, what I'm planning to do for the rest of the day is to finish Night of the Living Dummy 2, just because this is so short and I could definitely get through it in like an hour or two. And then I'm gonna do a lot of writing because I am prep-tobering. I'm like prepping for NaNoWriMo that's happening next month because I really want to win this year. And then I'm also just gonna do a bunch of like emails and applying for things. Also, I'm gonna do the Instagram photo challenge for the spookathon day. I don't know what day is it, 14, which is the color purple. So I'm gonna pull out all of my purple books that I can find. I don't actually have a lot, which is interesting. The lighting kind of sucks today, but I'm a little late to posting. Good afternoon, it is day 2 of the spookathon. I haven't done any reading today. I was about to say writing, I haven't done that either. But I did finish Night of the Living Dummy 2 last night. And I think I gave it like a 2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It's just not as good or as fun as the first one. I also think that the storyline is repetitive. I feel weird rating Goosebumps books just because they're pure nostalgia for me, but at the same time I compare them to other Goosebumps books and I'm like, oh, maybe I should rate them because there are decent Goosebumps books out there. I'm hoping to read and finish Pet Sematary tonight just because I found the audiobook version of it and I was reading it on ebook and I can't for the life of me get into Stephen King's writing style. I've tried, I think this is my 4th book that I've tried by him. So that, yeah. It's day 3 of the spookathon and I thought I'd give you an update. I keep wanting to do these updates early in the morning because I keep finishing books late at night, but I've been having to actually leave the house and like do adulty things these past couple of days, which is not common for me usually. I usually just stay in my pajamas all day. But I finished listening to the audiobook of Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I think I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I keep wanting to give him chances. I know I talked about this yesterday, but I don't know what it is about his writing style that I can't get into. Which is why I keep trying. I keep picking up his books because 1, he's written so many books. I'm bound to love one of the genres that he writes in. And 2, I don't know what it is about his books and his writing that I don't like, which is why I don't want to give up on him. Usually with authors that I've tried and I DNF the books from, I know what it is about their writing or their stories that I don't like. For example, I tried reading a Morgan Matson book and I don't really gel well with her writing style. It's just way too descriptive for me, especially for a contemporary book. So I know that that's something that I don't like about her writing style, and so I don't pick up any of her books. But with Stephen King, I don't quite know what it is about his stories that I don't like, which is why I keep, you know, wanting to give him chances. Anyway, while I've been out of the house all day, I have been reading a lot of The Graces and I'm really enjoying this. I am not that far in, but I'm starting to really second guess everything that's happening. You can definitely see the unreliable narrator-ness in this book. I know that a lot of reviewers were saying that she's kind of an unreliable narrator, and I didn't see that at the start until this point. And yeah, I'm just super invested in these characters, and I wish I could just sit down and read for the rest of the day, but I haven't gotten any writing done, and we're halfway through October, and I really want to prep for NaNoWriMo. Also because I'm super enjoying my own story idea, and I don't want to lose that inspiration and that motivation, so I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day writing, and then maybe later on at night I can read some more of this. I also want to pick up another book, but I don't know what to pick up. Also, after doing a bunch of stuff that I needed to do, I went to the gym and I worked out in my makeup, which is something that you're probably not supposed to do, so. So at the moment I'm testing out both Undead Girl Gang and also All the Rage by Courtney Summers. I listened to the first chapter of Undead Girl Gang, and I don't know if I'm into it at the moment, which sucks because I really like the cover and I thought that I would love the book instantly and I could get my physical copy of it, but I'm not enjoying it at the moment, so I'm gonna try and read All the Rage. I also have nothing to do today, so you know, I could probably just read all day, but that's probably not what I'm gonna do. Reading update, I finished another book. Technically I didn't start the book during Spookathon, I started it like a month ago or something, but that book is A Diary of a Haunting, and I completely forgot about it until I was going through my Scribd app and realized that I was like 30% through that book, and I remembered that it had pictures inside it so I could use it for the challenge, because it's basically written in like a blog entries, so the narrator puts a lot of her thoughts into a blog about her new house and her new place, and she puts pictures in just to kind of prove her point, I guess. Yeah, I didn't really like it. I think I would give it like a 2 out of 5 stars. This hasn't been the greatest Spookathon reading time for me, because I think every book that I've picked up I've given 2 or 3. But I really liked the beginning of it. I thought it was really fun. It's very, you know, 90s spooky haunted house, cheesy kind of vibes, but the closer we got to the end, the more it turned a little, I wouldn't say sci-fi, but it turned a little more towards in the same vein as like Insidious, you know, that horror movie Insidious. Not exactly the same, so I'm not spoiling anything, but it's not your typical ghost story haunting, and I guess I was expecting it to be like a spooky haunted house story, so I was a little disappointed when that happened. But yeah, I'm about to pick up a thriller. I've been spending the day basically like this because I haven't been feeling well, but also I've been reading the first chapters of a couple of thrillers because I don't know what I want to read for the challenge to read a thriller. I picked up Undead Girl Gang and I wasn't really feeling the narration style, and then I tried to pick up My Best Friend's Exorcism. Same, I wasn't feeling the vibe. And then I picked up All the Rage, which I'm super into, and I could read it all the way through now, well, listen to it because I don't have a physical copy, but I'm enjoying it so much and I really want a physical copy that I can annotate, because I love Courtney Summers so much that I just want to, you know, own all of her books. So I think I'm gonna maybe not read that for the Spookathon just because I want to take my time with it and I want to annotate it and, like, you know, fangirl over her writing style. So my other option is to read The Girl in 6E which I've heard that that one's really good. I could listen to that on audio as well. Or I also started listening to what's it called? I'm Thinking of Ending Things. That one seems interesting as well. So yeah, I'm not completely sure what I'm gonna pick up next. It is, what day is it? Friday? Day 5. Day 5 of the spookathon, and I thought I'd do a little bit of a reading update just because I haven't picked up anything new in the past 2 days. Basically, you saw that I was struggling to find a thriller to read because I am super picky with my thrillers. There are certain things, it's not even like the genre, the subgenre of a thriller that I'm picky with, it's just like certain things within it that I'm picky. So I had to try out a bunch of thrillers yesterday, as I think I've mentioned, and I'm still enjoying all the rage, but I want my physical copy, so I think I'm gonna hold off on that. But at the same time, I'm like hooked on it now that I just want to keep listening. The other thriller that I decided to stick with, because I read 9 chapters of it. Well, I listened to it because I found it on Scribd, and it's Tiny Pretty Things by, I can't remember the author's name, but it's a mystery thriller, I think. I'm not quite sure what it's actually about, but it has been on my radar for a couple of years now. I just know that it's a mystery thriller. It's set in a ballet school, and it's a bunch of girls with a bunch of secrets. And that seems like something that I'm so in the mood for at the moment, because I love, this sounds really weird, but I love female friendships. I love exploring female friendships, and like especially during the teenage years, because most of the time it is a healthy relationship, but I love exploring that like toxic, obsessive, codependent, mean side of female friendships, especially when you're a teenager, because I spent 6 years in middle school and high school in an all-girls school, so I kind of have first-hand experience and, you know, all the different ranges of what a female friendship can be like. So I love when books kind of explore that a little bit, I guess. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm listening to it at the same time as I am just doing a bunch of my other stuff, like I'm doing a bunch of writing. I stayed up really late last night again to write because I'm just so excited about my own story, and I can't wait until NaNoWriMo. I'm a little nervous, but I've outlined as much as I have done in the past, maybe even more, so hopefully I can get 50,000 words in next month. So yeah, that's a reading update for right now. It is sadly the last day of the spookathon, and I thought I'd do my wrap up right now. I didn't film all that much during this weekend just because I had a rough weekend brain-wise, and so yesterday I didn't do any reading. I basically tried to do a bunch of self-care stuff, and then this morning I woke up and I kind of just gave in to all the gloominess, and I basically spent the whole day in bed in the dark crying, and then taking like 3 showers because I like to shower when I'm feeling crappy because it makes me feel good or whatever. But I kept wanting to like listen to the audiobook of Tiny Pretty Things, but that was on my laptop and I didn't want to turn my laptop on. I didn't want to do anything today, so I thought I'd just do my wrap up right now because it doesn't look like I'm gonna get any more reading done. So I basically read a total of 2 books during the week, which is sad because I thought I would finish Tiny Pretty Things, Tiny Little Things, I don't know what it's called. I thought I would finish that this weekend, but I haven't finished it. I don't even think I'm halfway through. I'm enjoying it so far, but it's a lot slower than I would like it to be. Anyway, I finished Night of the Living Dummy 2, which completes the challenge to read a book with purple on the cover. I don't have the book with me, I should have brought it down. But that has a purple heart on the cover. And then I also finished Pet Cemetery, which completes the challenge of spooky word and thriller. And I don't think it's set, I think it's like set in the 80s, so I don't know if that counts as like not being set in this time period. But oh no, I read 3 books during the week because I finished Diary of a Haunting, which completes the challenge to read a book with pictures in it, because that has pictures. Anyway, that is all from me. I know that the end of this vlog week is not very eventful or anything like that. This is why I don't do weekly vlogs all that often, because most of the time, at least 1 or 2 days during the week, I will have a brain breakdown and it's not fun. So yeah, let me know how you guys did in your spookathon. Let me know if you have any book recommendations that you think that I will enjoy down in the comments below, and I hope you're having a great day, and you will see me in another video soon.